What's up, guys? From wherever you're watching from, some good news. I always say I like to celebrate the good news as well as report some of the bad news. Also, I guess, what's today's holiday? Memorial Day? Happy Memorial Day to you guys. Hope you guys are having a good time with your families. Thank you to any troops that have passed in service or any troops in general. I think it's a day to celebrate all troops in general. But, guys, I definitely want to come to you guys and about the good news about Texas. So it seems like Delta8. Here, let me actually share the article.
You're like a freaking professor.
So here it is. So I feel like a lot of people would also be like, "Oh, this isn't a good thing. It's a bad thing," because this bill was also to decriminalize weed in Texas. So that bill did fall short, though. So but this bill, it was going to make Delta8 illegal right now, but it was also going to decriminalize marijuana and allow sales up to it was like 1 to 5% or something like that of THC for our medical cannabis market. So a lot of people I feel like would be like, that's a huge step forward, and I agree. But I agree on that side of things. But in a previous video, I've also explained how it seems like Texas and laws like that were trying to kind of kill the current cannabis market while establishing kind of a new layout for when it's time for it to be rolled out legally. So, of course, we all want legalization, but when it comes to how the process is rolled out and stuff like that, it's very important that it's done the right way, because the laws that are made now in regards to like the kind of deprohibition of marijuana, if they're not done correctly, they can impact the market. They can impact a market like for a very, very long time to come. So I just definitely wanted to come on here and let you guys know that this is a good thing, really, for Delta8, because this wouldn't have legalized the sale of marijuana in Texas. Therefore, it's hurting the businessmen. Because current marijuana business can really only survive at a recreational level if Delta8 stays legal, or if they just made Delta9 sales legal, which don't look like it's going to happen like immediately. So therefore, there will be a void of any type of cannabis businesses in Texas, because it'll be tough to sell it, because CBD has been proven to kind of struggle on the recreational side of everything. And then and Delta8's holding up a lot of these businesses. And if you kill Delta8 right now, there'd be no one left alive to be able to kind of support themselves and have a business when it comes time for the Delta9 rollout. And it's kind of a scary thing if that's what Texas is planning, to kind of find a way to rig the new marijuana laws and stuff. So I definitely like to keep you guys updated. I'd like to keep you guys informed as best as I'm informed. You know, I'm not in the government. I'm not connected anymore, really. I mean, I might know a few more people in the industry than the average person, but overall, I don't have any insider information, really. I'm just trying to keep you guys updated as I am, because this stuff's important. This stuff's very important for the cannabis business. But you can see down here, it says that in addition to edibles, it was allowing for tinctures, infused oils, vape pens. It was kind of decriminalizing a lot of that stuff. And that's a great move. But that means that's what could come up next, just done in the right way. You don't have to sneak in killing the current business to prepare for the new business that's incoming, in my opinion. So definitely a move in the right direction. Once I find a lighter, I'm about to smoke this bowl, but I need to locate a lighter. To have a smoking channel, like all my lighters be dying or getting stolen. I don't know what it is, but it seems like there's a shortage of lighters right now. One sec. You know what lighters are? Oh, crap. Man, I gotta go to the store. I legit only found this crack lighter. What the fuck? That's all I have. I agree, Chief of Sinners. I agree. What's up, Mac? I'm just reporting on the fact that Delta8 in the state of Texas, the bill, this says the bill to lower penalties for marijuana, which it is what it is, but it was also the bill that was going to kill current business, kill current cannabis business in Texas. What's up, Alex? How you doing? I'm glad, Kim. I'm glad you enjoy it. So definitely on this holiday, happy to bring you guys this good news. Definitely a step in the right direction, because if the decriminalization is getting pitched, I think it can still go through before the end of the year, hopefully, or at least through next year. I think decriminalization can still go through, and progress can still be made without killing, like I said, the current business structure, the current businesses that are in the state of Texas. Nice, Mac. Is Flying Monkey? That's a brand? I don't think we've tried that brand. There's so many brands out there now. They just decriminalized it. Yeah, there's laws for Texas, Alex, currently. Yeah, right now you can still get Delta8. Nick, we can still ship Delta8. We can still sell Delta8. The good news, Irving, is that Delta8 is still legal in Texas, and that I don't know how long our legally lifted Delta8 stuff will still be along. I'm not exactly sure. I'm more of a content creator. We still have some available right now, so this isn't even really talking about us. This is more just talking about the fact that it's decriminalized. The decriminalization didn't go through, but at the same time, they didn't criminalize Delta8 as well, which was what was stuck in this bill. They threw a committee, and they just kind of like threw it all out. So they're going to now go back and probably try to hash out what they can do to actually get decriminalization through. But it's, Alex, that's a whole different thing still. We still have some available currently, but that's still such a gray area, because there are a lot of places you read say the law is still enforced, the law is still there, but it's unenforceable, and there's no way to do anything about it. So there are still a lot of carts out there being shipped, stuff like that. That was a federal law, though, so you're right in kind of thinking that this doesn't apply with the Texas thing, but at the same time, the USPS has already said that there's no way for them to kind of monitor it or anything like that, so they weren't enforcing it. So I don't exactly know what the law means if there's absolutely no enforcement of it. I don't know what any law means if there's absolutely no enforcement of it, though. That's kind of how it works, but. Chris, there's like one place to where you can get a medical license right now. It's under like 1% THC, and it's like only for children that have epilepsy. So yeah, it's pretty much fully illegal. Like you can't just get a medical license and then go to any dispensaries or anything like that. It's not like that here in Texas. All we have is Delta 8. So a lot of people ask why I make so much Delta 8 content and stuff like that. Well, why aren't you just smoking regular weed? Like I enjoy all of them, but I want to give the options that are available legally to people where I live and stuff like that. I feel you, Chief of Senator. That's what's up. Alex, you just got to do it like how you feel comfortable. Really, it's person to person at this point. Hyperlags, tell me what's not true. I could be wrong. I don't know if you're talking about for what hybrid. What are the elements that you have to have in order to get it? Because I think that tried to expand it to cancer as well. And where can you get this? Like, is this only in Austin? Is this because it's possible that I'm wrong? For sure, Alex. For sure, Texas is late to it. I got you, Hyperlags. I guess what I was saying is it's definitely not widely available. Texas has 30 million people in it. And so if we're talking about anything even less than 10 locations, it's not widely available. But like we live in the fourth biggest city in America here in Houston. Like that is either that's like monopolized or like all I'm saying is it's not widely available to people here in Texas. That's kind of what I was trying to get to. And that is a step that we want to get to. But this bill wasn't even going to allow that. This bill was just going to try to stop arresting people for the possession of it. For sure, Mac, they are. It's a money thing, though. You have to understand that people like if people like Delta9, if Delta9 is legal, Delta8 has no place. And these Delta9 people are starting to realize that's a lie. I don't know why people believe that or what, but I can tell you that plenty of people in California, plenty of people in Colorado are consuming Delta8 products. A lot of people like Delta8 edibles specifically, Delta8 carts. People like them. And people have access to Delta9 all the time. So but that market was starting to have impact on Delta9. Obviously had impact on anybody who was just trying to sell CBD, at least on the recreational side. So with that being said, like Delta8 has a lot of enemies. That's a bit hybrid. I appreciate the info for real. I'm definitely not knocking down any info. I definitely appreciate you for correcting me on that. A non-curable condition. Okay. That's what I was thinking, or something like that. So a non-curable condition, and then you can get 25 milligrams out of a dispensary in Austin. That's kind of currently how the extent of the Texas laws. And so it's definitely moving, I guess, in the right direction. But all right, exactly, Grandma. Like a lot of people like Delta8 more. And the edibles, exactly. Alex, I don't know how long I'll be in Texas, to be real with you, though. And that's less on the cannabis side and more on like my filmmaking and videography side. I need to develop that. But yeah, so definitely wanted to bring you guys this good news on a holiday. Had to have a smoke session for it. We want weed to be decriminalized in the state of Texas, and we want it to be done the right way. And then I think we're getting closer and closer to it being accepted, but the hemp bill won't be touched. Therefore, Delta8 will stay legal, and then hopefully our government on both sides will be able to come to the right terms on how to decriminalize it. Because right now, I already know in most of the major states, like weed cases, a lot in the state of Texas, I know for a fact from personal experience, that a lot of weed cases really are being thrown out. It's just costing the courts money now to just arrest people. So they do have incentive to at least decriminalize it, because it's very expensive really how they're doing it, especially because a lot of these weed crimes now, they're paying police to like still go after these people, but they don't really lock them up because they're, for all these different types of reasons, it doesn't really make sense. So we are making progress. Progress is happening, but hopefully it keeps moving forward. I got you, Chris. That's what's up. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like our 50 milligrams are strong, like, but they're consistent too. That's the thing. Like the 50 milligrams that we offer, and that a lot of people offer, like all the companies we try, like if one doesn't hit like a 25 milligram, you just know it's weaker because you know exactly what a 25 milligrams should hit like. You know what a 50 milligrams should hit like, and there's so much more consistent. So this is what I try to get people to understand. People are always like, man, if the real thing, people call it the real thing. If the real thing is legal, Delta-8 and all that stuff is going to go away. And I'm just like, people don't all want to be as high as possible, or like not knowing how high they're going to get. Or Delta-9 doesn't always help you sleep. A lot of times Delta-8 will help people set their sleep. So it's just all these different things that, yeah. I'm glad, Vindicated. That's what's up. I got you, Grim. Yeah, like, and you have to dose it up. It's just, it's still, for me, it's like eating more pieces of candy or something. You know, I don't know. Michael, I would say keep it in the packaging. Keep the packaging close, and that does suck. But I would say, like, if you have a disposable, I would say keep the packaging, or keep the receipt at least. Take a picture of the packaging. Have something that's proof that it's not. Because you could even get away with it afterwards. But sitting in jail for 2 or 3 days and all that stuff, I'm here to tell you, it's not the route you want to do to try to prove your innocence. So I would at least take a picture of the packaging, take a picture of the receipt with the date or something like that. You could show them, like, no, I bought this at this. You tell them what store you bought it at. Like, I mean, I'm saying whatever I got to say to not go to jail. So if I'm in your position, and I don't know where you're at, you know? Somebody, a cop in Texas, Houston specifically, probably has heard of Delta8. Some cops in these small, random towns and stuff like that, probably, not to call some of y'all small towns random, but you know what I'm saying. Small, random towns, like some of those cops might not be familiar with Delta8. They're just like, it's all weed. They might not even know really CBD at this point yet. So it kind of just depends. I agree, Alex. I used to live in a legal state. I lived in Colorado for a year, and when I lived there, people were like, it's legal in Texas, right? Like, people don't even realize that other places, people are still going to jail for it. That's why people from these places really get in a lot of trouble, because you live somewhere 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and you've been able to smoke weed like freely, and then you just have it in your car. You could go somewhere and get in serious trouble, like serious trouble. And so, like, it's weird. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. Like, I live in a city of 5 million, damn near. And the whole Metroplex, like 4.5 million. It's underrated how many people in Houston. And with that being said, like, these cops are made aware of shit quick. Vindicated also those. We mail those out with all of our packages, stuff that says that it's that, but if you don't have it, just keep the packaging. It's because they be smoking it, Grim. I mean, we went up to Oklahoma. If you saw a documentary, like the little doc we made, Cannabis Roadshow, we were smoking in that abandoned mall. We walk outside, there's cops lined up and shit. They taking pictures and videos and shit. Like, and it seems sketchy, but I was like, I really don't think they give a fuck. I think they're just like amazed that something like this exists these days. They weren't saying anything to anybody. We were just sitting there puffing, smoking, you know what I mean, hitting dabs. Police sitting right there. Literally, for the first time, I was like, damn. The police are actually here to keep us safe. It's the first time in my entire life, I looked around, I was like, damn, if something popped off, the police are actually better off here. You know? Usually I feel like they're trying to jam me up. But at that event, when I could just smoke weed freely, I was just like, they care about my safety today, maybe. Exactly, Michael. You could say it's CBD shit. And whenever I drove, if I had some Delta-9, I'm not endorsing this, but whenever I had Delta-9, if I drove somewhere else and I had to pass through small places where I knew it wasn't decriminalized and stuff, I got CBD containers. Like, just put in the CBD container, it's CBD. They can't. There's one testing center, I think, in the state of Texas. So. Exactly, Vindicated. The problem is, like, you want to keep it far away from you, because if it's too close to you and it's smokable, something smokable, they could assume that you give you a DUI. Like, if it's loose flower, it's a little bit hard for them to assume it's smokable. But like the pens and shit, if it's sitting right next to you, like in the cup holder or something, regardless of what it is, it's gonna look kind of suspect. Like, if you got pulled over, I would throw that bitch in the back seat. Like, I'll throw it in your trunk if you got an SUV. You know what I'm saying? Like, dead ass though, I would throw that hoe back there, because if you have that weed in your front seat by you, because there are laws with that. There's laws with that in alcohol, and they're not heavily enforced, and people don't know that. I took a drug class, and she was saying, like, you get a DUI for having beer in your front seat. You haven't had a drink, really. If you had really, like, any of a drink and had it in your front seat, you can get a DUI. Like, especially if the packaging is open at all. But it's not even with closed packaging. It's not supposed to be within an arm's reach of the driver. It's like the technical laws. So, like, weed is the same way. Like, in Colorado, the weed's supposed to be stapled, put together, outside of arm's reach of the driver. And I know so many of us come out the dispensary, pop that hoe open, start hitting the pin in the parking lot. But, like, technically, really immediately at that moment, as soon as you really started the car, they give you a DUI. If you put the pin down and they didn't see you hitting it, but it was next to you, they can give you a DUI. So this is just to kind of keep you guys aware of, like, the dangers that still exist, even if you're in legal states. Like, because they really are for drinking too. Just like our society is just so comfortable with alcohol for whatever reason. Yeah, Alex, and there's a lot more black market availability also for the state of Oklahoma, because Oklahoma is surrounded by illegal states. You have to think about it like that too. Like Seattle, like, you're not driving down to, you're not going to Oregon. You're not going to California. You're not selling your shit to these other states. Oklahoma has 360 illegal states around it, except for Colorado. And still, that eastern part of Colorado is not close to Denver and do not have any dispensaries. I've driven through there, at least as of a couple of years ago. There was like one in northeastern Colorado, but like Colorado's like a county by county thing, whether they allow dispensaries. So not all of them have it. Lucas, depending on where you're at, yeah, I said Texas, it still would be technically a felony. Chief of Senators, I agree. And in airports, they don't give a fuck as much anymore, especially if you're leaving a legal state. A lot of times it's not illegal to fly with it within that state, like in California. And so to give you an example, if you leave California, it was legal in the airport. You flew into Houston. Houston, a lot of stuff is decriminalized, like weed is decriminalized. So say you have flour and it's in a package. It wasn't legal when you left California. You land here in a decriminalized place and no checkpoint. Like, you're pretty much good. But with the wax and stuff like that, but Delta8 wax is good. At Delta8 wax, it won't be a felony. That's fine. Nice, Lucas. So it's decriminalized up there, but I don't think wax is. Just the flower. But because of the demographic that mostly smokes wax, if I'm being completely real, wax is definitely moving towards being decriminalized. That's why they were trying to decriminalize it here. That's why I've gotten fortunate with that stuff before. Delta8 wax vindicated. I don't think so, Michael. I don't think I've tried it. No, they're leaving Delta8 alone in the state of Texas. Lucas. I got you, Vindicated. Yeah, there's a lot of it being sold here. We have some crumble here that's really nice, and there's a lot of shatter. I don't know. I haven't tried it. To be honest, my personal time, I'm usually smoking our brand, or then we do some reviews and stuff like that as well on CBD Hemp Library. I don't know exactly what channel. I'm currently live on my personal channel, and I'm live on CBD Hemp Library. So Alex, to be honest, man, we've been waiting on this legalization stuff to kind of, because we didn't want to invest too much into like trying to get new flavors of edibles and stuff like that. We might start doing that though. We're about to have some. I don't know about the carts, but edibles and flour we still have for sure. So here, no problem. But our 50 milligram edibles, like people still love those. People buy those by the pounds, I guess. I don't know how much people buy a lot of those because people eat a lot of them, and they're really close to like 60 milligrams, or like 59 milligrams, I think. Why we market them as 50 milligrams, I don't know, because I don't want to lie and say 60 when it's 59. But I'd rather it be a little bit stronger. But then I hope nobody's eaten like half of ours and been like, "Fuck, that was too strong." I don't know, but yeah, everybody's different with how much they can take or they like. Appreciate it, Alex. What's up, Todd? How you doing? Cheers. I'm ashamed it's the only lighter I have. I need to go to the store and get another lighter. Sergio got all the legally lifted lighters. Appreciate you guys smoking with me though. This is definitely some good news for the current cannabis businesses here in the state of Texas, which are really generating a lot of income for the state already from the Delta8 sales at CBD shops and smoke shops and stuff like that. And I have a feeling that had a lot to do with keeping it legal here in the state of Texas, because this is definitely great news. What's up, Ninja? Michael, I think by the end of the year, Texas really could decriminalize. I don't know about fully legalized, but I feel like by the end of this year, it could be decriminalized. It's a herbo. It has like a electric centrifuge on the inside, and it spins, and then it kind of just they say it does like the first couple steps of like the inhalation for you, and then it's pretty light smoke after that. Alabama legalized Delta-9, right? Yeah, I've had the herb. Those are nice too, Chief of Sinners, and those are pretty common to find in shops too. Yeah, for ours, we only have like 25 left, really, something like that, of the last 3 flavors. And then I don't think we're going to do any more carts because who we worked with to get these carts to you guys really isn't, we're not working with them anymore. And I don't really want to, I don't know if it's worth our investment to go back and find a different quality, because I don't just fuck around with like just white labeling some bullshit or something like that. But just to let anybody who liked our cards know, because I mean, we sold a good amount of them, so people like them a lot. I'm just letting you guys know that we'll probably have the flower and edible still, but the cards, I don't think so anymore. Alabama, I'll look it up. I'm curious about Alabama. Hell yeah, Alex. It just says in Alabama that there'd be like 20 conditions that you could have. Whoa, I didn't know this. Let me share this with y'all. Look at this. This is in Alabama, guys. You can stick it up your ass, but you can't have candy. It says you can have suppositories. What? You can have patches, capsules. You can have capsules, but no candy. Oh my goodness. That's actually kind of wild. I wonder how permanent these laws are. So they still can't smoke. I didn't realize this. This is why you gotta read. Like, they always just be like marijuana legalization bill, but they put the flower in the picture and stuff. But it's just not an assumption, I guess, that is what we think. That's wild. I wonder what the law is about. I wonder if there's like decriminalization of flower or not. Yeah, so expungement. So it definitely looks like it should help with the decriminalization aspect of everything. But still, the fact that you can have capsules but no candy sounds like a rigged system. Imagine like if we could have vitamins, but you can't have the fruits. You can't have the Flintstone bitches. All you can have is the hard horse pills. You can't have the gummies because that's not good. The extra little bit of sugar makes it dangerous. That sounds like they're rigging the system out in Alabama. It doesn't surprise me, but that shit is crazy. That's what I'm saying, Alex. Is like it has to be done right. Fairfax flash it like it don't exactly be wait why. That's literally what it is. This is why it just. I've never heard of marijuana suppositories. I'm guessing that's for kids though, for real, something like that. And that's all I could think it could be for, you know. It's like we still got a reason to arrest you a little bit or some shit, or still tax you with the law, like tickets and shit like that. Maybe cheaper centers, but it's not sold in places where kids should be. Like alcohol is fruit flavored, and it'd be looking like a kid's drink sometimes. They be having alcohol in pouches and little chubby cans and little chubby plastic things now and shit, looking like a kid's container. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I like to think like at least if we apply the alcohol laws to the weed laws, let's line those up. But isn't it fucking crazy that it's just like if we go the other way? I've never done a butt dab either. I cannot say I've never had a butt edible either. That's what you're going to tell the cop if you get caught with the edible in Alabama. Sir, it's a suppository. And he can't tell you any different. He can't tell you that you don't stick gummy bears in your butt. Sir, this is a suppository for my wife. That's what you got to tell these motherfuckers. But if you got caught with flour, if you get caught with any cannabis-related thing that's not legal in the state of Alabama, you just got to tell them it's a suppository, and they can't tell you what you do and don't like sticking in your butt. I am fucking dead. So why do you have this 3-foot bong in your car? It's a suppository. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. But I'm scared Texas gonna have some stupid shit like that too. Yeah, Cloud Check. They are. I mean, other places have them. They are nice. Yeah, but cannabis lounges. I was also talking to a friend about cannabis lounges. It's an interesting thing that when there's no like alcohol involved and everybody's just like in public smoking weed, it's just like, fuck, we could be at home doing this. Like, in my opinion, for a cannabis lounge to survive, it has to have like a central theme that people are doing there. Like, we have comedy and we also a smoking lounge. We watch movies, also a smoking lounge. Concerts, also a smoking lounge. Like it can't just have smoking because like that's just not fun enough. Even if it's just like we show the nightly like big games for playoffs, fall sports and shit like that. Like a sports bar, smoking bar type shit. But it has to be a mixture of something else as well, in my opinion. Because I've been to some smoking events and sometimes it's just a little bit too much of people be sitting there just being stoned and it's just like, is it better to do this outside with random people? You know, or is it better to do this even inside with random people? Or, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like live performance, all that shit just makes it like so much better, whatever it is. It could be a magic show. Magic would be even better. You know what I'm saying? You really believe that shit. Won't ask a single goddamn question. Just be like, wait a minute. Nah, you must be a wizard. Oh, shit. There's places here in Houston you could smoke Delta8, but it's probably going to all be outside. If it's like that, cheaper centers, yeah. A lot of places it's not like that here in Texas yet. Where it's like real bud tenders that know what they're doing and stuff like that. It's not too much of that. It's like places you can also just smoke at. I could see a Cloud Shack, yeah. It would hurt the alcohol sales a lot though. For real, people that start smoking a lot of weed don't be drinking a lot. It's a common, very common trend. Or they definitely would cut off way faster. Like instead of getting 6 beers, they're getting like 2, you know? And the profit they would make off of alcohol is way higher. People aren't going to be buying public weed as much. Like they'll buy weed where they go, but people are about to be very particular about price. We saw it happen. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, like Delta8 cards were like $50. I don't know where y'all are, but at what's like we all are, Delta8 cards aren't 50. I mean, ours are 25. Like people's are 30, 40. You could find nice Delta8 cards. But CBD, when it first came out, like $60 for a cart and shit, like prices are always dropping. Oklahoma weed prices low as fuck because there's so much competition. For sure, cheaper centers. Based off your name, it seems like you know best. I saw this pro athlete that says you should drink, I think it was a fluid ounce for your body weight every day. That's a lot of water. That's so much water. I'm like 185, 190. No, like 190, really. Like 2.5 of these a day. Like for me, that's so much water. That's damn near my biggest fault in life. Can't drink that much. What's up, Call of Duty? How you doing, man? But yeah, so this Alabama shit, definitely crazy. The good news originally, though, was definitely for anybody who's just joining in. The good news is that Delta8 is still legal in the state of Texas. They actually decided to turn down the whole bill. So decriminalization in the state of Texas will not actually be happening right now. which on one hand does suck, but it also sucks that in order to try to push decriminalization through, they try to kill the current cannabis business. So it's kind of like I think it should just needs to be decriminalized in the right way, not in a way that's so detrimental to the current business here in the state of Texas. But so for current businesses, good news. A lot of states still are decriminalizing the state of Texas, but hopefully that means here in this next year coming up, or within this next year, before 2022, we can get decriminalization here in the state of Texas. They can decriminalize wax, edibles, flour, all that stuff, to where the max it is a ticket. Don't know why it still has to be a ticket, but I guess they got to steal our money somehow. By boats here, huh? I think because it's not that far from the southern tip of South America. Because I've known some people that would take a trip down there just on some like college exploration shit or something like that. But you go to the very, very southern tip of South America, like they have penguins down there. Like it's not that far from Antarctica. Like you can go down there and then you could get over to Antarctica like reasonably. Don't ask me why I know that, but to answer your question, that's how you get to Antarctica. I'm glad you enjoy it, Kathleen. Yeah, is it legal in Arizona? I don't think it's currently legal in Arizona, to be real with you. It's been on a no-ship list for a lot of companies, for sure. A dead-ass Michael made us feel like we won something by not taking away Delta8. Isn't that like what the fucked up part about it is? Like they could have just decriminalized it and we'd just be good. Too easy, Lola. The good news is that Delta8 gets to stay in the state of Texas. It will not be banned. But the bad news is that weed is still illegal. They had to hit us with the okey doke. They couldn't make it all good, but at least they didn't kill the current cannabis business here in Texas, but they definitely didn't create more. Or actually, I guess they did because more people get into Delta8, but. Hey. Oh, that was so hard. Nice, Kathleen. That's good then. I'm glad. In terms of what, Too Easy Lola? In terms of Delta8? I believe, Delta8 is still legal in Florida. Fairfax, nothing's legal in Texas. The legality is that in Alabama, they can have legal weed, but it has to be via suppository or like tincture, or you couldn't have a gummy. You can't have edibles, you can't have flour, you can't have vapes, you can't have any of the normal ways of taking it. You have to stick it up your ass, put it under your tongue, maybe apply it on it with a cream. Those are the options in Alabama. But we found the loophole is just tell the police officer, no matter what you get caught with, that you plan on sticking it up your butt, and he has to let you go because suppository is illegal. There's always a loophole. I would like dead ass. I would say that and then stick by it till I got to court. I'm telling my lawyer. I told him it was suppository. I told him it was. I'm telling everybody in the jail. I told him it was. I told him in front of the judge. I told him, read the law. It says it. I told him it was suppository. So you had 6 pounds. What's your point? Let's welcome with him been gone, Michael. They sued them so quick. That was gone after like 48 hours of it turning over. Like this shit, Texas got too much money. That's what all this stuff is showing us. There's too much money being thrown around and too many tax benefits and tax dollars and shit for the government for them to make this shit illegal because people want it. It's that simple. I got you on the one. You prefer CBD? Some people do. I understand. Exactly, Kathleen. Like people always act like you have to. It's like a picket fence. You have to choose on which side you want to be on. You know, like use either one. Who cares? Yeah, they're starting to get to that level, but the Delta 8 is it's so runny at room temperature is the problem. It's rare that I find a solid like shatter and stuff like that. Like last week in Austin, the guys that went on like recap video, they had some solid shatter, but usually I don't find like crazy solid shatter. I'm good in the straps. How are you? Happy Memorial Day. Appreciate you guys joining me on this Memorial Day. I know you could be in a pool. I know you could be chilling somewhere else. I definitely appreciate you hanging out with me here, celebrating this good Delta 8 news on this holiday. It's a good day overall this far. Type shit, Kathleen. I feel you, Michael. We had live terps. That's what we had. We had terps from live resin, like live terp carts, live terp Delta 8 carts. And they were really nice. We stopped selling those, but we had those before. They were at a high price point. They're expensive, but people bought them and people liked them. The problem is though too, like when it's the high terpene live resin terps, a lot of times the pen you have has to be able to get that high temperature too. That's what's up, Call of Duty, bro. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Glad you're enjoying it. Happy that they're going to let Delta 8 survive. I'm going to get off at like the hour mark. Cole made these quesadillas, and I'm probably about to go eat another one up. Exactly, Kathleen. That's a nice thing. You make it custom to have this amount of CBD, this amount of Delta 8, this amount of Delta 9 to fit whatever need we need. And we don't have to just guess based off of what the dealer has, or even guess based off of what the richest dispensary is able to deliver. Like right now in Texas, there's one dispensary in one city of a state of 30 million people. Like we'll be able to have options one day, which will definitely be nice. Definitely been a good smoke session though. I've enjoyed sitting here chilling with you guys. I got lit. I'm gonna have to go hang out. I'm about to go hang out with little cousins. I haven't even met some of them, which they gonna be like 2. I don't be holding babies though. I'd be scared I'm gonna drop them and they grow up not smart and it's my fault or something. I don't hold babies. I held one baby. It was super squishy, but it felt like it was slippery or something. I don't know. I just don't be holding babies. When kids turn like 5, 6, we'll start talking. Before that, they high risk to me. I guess until I have my own. But for like other people's babies, I'm not going to be the reason somebody else's baby grows up dumb because I dropped it. I've cracked every single iPhone I've ever had. Think I trust my hands with the baby? Nah. Yeah, they'd be crazy squishy. Be like, I gotta roll that. Like if you put them in the roller, I'm cool in the roller. I'm not just about to throw them out the roller. But at the same time, if he's in my hands, she's in my hands, and they get to squirming or something. Cause y'all had cats. Y'all know how cats be squirming, but babies be sitting limp because they be weak. You know. At least cats be strong as shit, so they be squirming and shit. So I guess I always associate little kids with cats and shit, because they remind me of each other. They both kind of smell bad. They both pee a lot of places. They both get really loud at night. They're both squishy. They're both extremely active when they want to be. You know, so like cats and kids, like they remind me a lot of each other. So because of that, and my cat, it used to be like flying out of my hands and jumping and shit. And so that's why I don't like holding kids, because I feel like they're going to jump out of my hands like cats. I know that doesn't make sense to most of you, but that's kind of how I rationalize not holding kids. And I learned that cats have the intelligence of a child up to about 5 years old. And so, like, all right, after they grow out of their cat.
3.
I think it's 5.
You said 3.
No, I didn't. In terms of, like, their awareness of their surroundings. Like, little kids be so unaware. Zap Brannigan. We were just talking about Futurama. But the good news is that Texas will not be outlawing Delta8. The Delta8 will still be allowed to be sold in the pretty great state of Texas. Sometimes it'd be disappointing me, but overall, pretty cool place, state of Texas. The 3-year-old. Nicole, I looked it up. Cats are smart as kids up to 3. Depending on how stupid the cat or kid is. I think we have endless traps. I feel like we have. And THCP be in stuff, like other THC products, huh? Because you look at like in legal places, you look at it and they'll have like the THCV, THCP, like they have the breakdown in the legal dispensaries. And I've had tons of products from those. They could micro if they wanted to. I'm sure. I don't know if Uber would allow that, but they're starting to have like the Uber delivery system to where it's not even just eats. Like you can just deliver shit, but it's not widely available right now. And there are varying levels of multiple ways of infusing it. Because you can even look at it. There are ways to infuse it from like inside out to where they can actually like, infuse it to where it's like the whole entire plant has Delta-8 on it, or the way that they can just like spray it to where the outer layer has it and shit like that. And then, Money Man, I guess it would just all depend on for the CBD flower, the quality of the CBD flower. It depends on where you get it from. Because I would agree with you. I don't smoke a lot of the Delta-8 flower I get because I assume with a lot of these companies that they're just using their shit CBD flower, you know. So I'm not sitting here disagreeing with you. I don't think it's always the case, and I know for a fact there are like different infusion methods into the Delta-8 flower. So it has to be a certain way, but yeah, I'm particular about what I would smoke. I mean, Money Man, I don't want to just shout out ours. We have our own Delta-8. We have our own Delta-8 flower. We only have one strain available right now. But if anybody else in here has tried it, you can talk to us about ours. And then somebody else I would say of a company that I would trust would be JK Distro or Texas Hemp. Texas Hemp Culture. Texas Hemp Culture has nice stuff. What's up, bro? Jerk face. But yeah, Money Man, like ours, JK Distro and that are like the three I would say for Delta-8 flower right now that I would trust to smoke really. Bless you. What's up, Brian? How you doing? Appreciate you tuning in. Damn, I appreciate it. I'm glad I got on live today because it's a holiday. I figured some people would be on there, but the good news is that Delta-8 will stay legal. Yeah, I'll put it back up. it's kind of a catch-22, but it's over. I think it's good news. But Delta-8 is staying legal in the state of Texas. So there was a bill that was going to decriminalize certain levels of cannabis and allow a little bit more percentages for the couple of medical patients in the state, but kill current cannabis business. And so that died, and so Delta-8 will stay legal. Definitely, it is nice that Delta8 will stay legal. It's a step closer. I do agree. I think they will get this Delta-9 decriminalization passed, hopefully by the end of this year, because for what you have gotten to Greg Abbott's desk, or about to be to Greg Abbott's desk, I think that means it's the way. It's just there was enough money on the side of Delta-8 to convince the unanimous vote to disband this and just be like, all right, we'll just relook at it again, because I think they really looked at how much tax revenue Delta-8 is helping out in the state of Texas. I was like, all right, maybe we shouldn't kill something that brings us hundreds of millions of dollars here in the next few years. Or even faster. I don't know if y'all been looking at these numbers for Illinois. See. This stat where they're talking about Illinois generated 86 million for adult use and then 72 from liquor sales. That's crazy. That's insane. In March alone, adults spent 109 million. This is the money that these states are seeing now, and they're like, what the fuck? This is what the type of money we're talking about. I really feel like a lot of those old people who hadn't smoked in a while, who even if they hadn't really looked at the recreational markets. They did not know the type of dollars they were playing with. Because I really do think it has a chance of outweighing how much they make off of prisons, for people with marijuana in prison, how much they make off of people getting arrested, obviously, how much they make off of people even with cotton and stuff like that, the things that are competing against him. So I think when they see these type of these are the type of things that are going to get Texas legalized. It's not, they don't give a fuck about putting us in jail. They don't care about treating us right. They don't care about our medicine. They don't care about our health. They care about what's going to make them the most money. And so when it starts to make them the type of money that Delta8 is making in the state of Texas, that's when it stays legal. Hell yeah, Brian. It's definitely dope. Because it was getting down the wire. There's 2-3 more days left. They're getting this done. Memorial Day weekend type shit. That's how you know, there's some money being pushed around. Oh shit, what's this? I'll let y'all see this while I'm looking at it. Shit, I'm about to read this. So this is for Tennessee legalizing CBD. Is that what this is? It's saying CBD oil can have up to 0.9 instead of 0.3. And then you still have to go outside of the state to go buy it, and then it's just legal to have in the state. What? And then I saw Biden don't want it to be sold in Washington, D.C. I don't be knowing what's happening. I don't know. I don't be knowing what's happening. I got you, Blick. Michael, they're gonna have to reintroduce it and take out this hemp stipulation to where they're trying to kill Delta8, and then hopefully it goes back with that. Thanks, kid, appreciate it. Like they're just gonna have to reintroduce it how they be doing, like the House, Senate, and then Greg Abbott passed it. But Greg Abbott is gonna play these games because he don't want weed being legalized in Texas while he's in there. So we just gotta vote his ass out. Stick in his spokes.